Across the United States, enormous abandoned mansions sit decaying, once opulent homes now collecting dust and echoing with ghosts of the past. Exploring their silent halls inspires awe and chill us to the bone. Today, let's uncover the mysteries of 20 crumbling mansions scattered throughout America. We'll delve into their haunting histories and why these palatial estates were left to ruin. As we peel back the layers, dark secrets and forgotten grandeur come to light. Each mansion has its own fascinating story of wealth, scandal, or tragedy. Step with me through broken doorways into these eerie time capsules frozen in decline. But tread lightly, for here opulence and darkness collide in the shadows of sagging ballrooms, toppling towers, and overgrown gardens. Let's begin our haunting journey. Mansion 1. Overbrook Insane Asylum, New York. This 1900 abandoned asylum still contains equipment used for shocking treatments. Ghosts of former patients are said to roam the decaying wards at night. Chilling words are scrawled on the walls by unknown hands. Mansion 2, Chateau Montebello, Canada. Once a glamorous Quebec getaway for wealthy travelers, this crumbling chateau, built in 1921, is now an empty shell with collapsing beams and peeling walls. Ghost sightings are frequent in its ruined grand ballroom. Mansion 3, Swannanoa, Virginia. This decaying marble palace was built in 1912 as a millionaire's country estate. Its roof is now collapsing and intricate interior damaged by vandals, but hints of its Greek revival beauty remain like towering columns and ornate ironwork. Mansion 4, Adler Mansion, Iowa. Constructed in 1900 by a wealthy family, rumors swirl of a baby buried in the walls. Features like carved woodwork, stained glass, and mosaic tile floors are now casualties of neglect. Cold air emanates from the emptiness. Mansion 5, Bok Tower Gardens, Florida. This crumbling Dutch Gothic tower set in lush gardens thrived during the 1920s before suffering decades of decline. Built by a newspaper mogul, its deteriorating ballrooms and deco motifs portend decaying fortunes. Mansion 6, Villa de Vecchi, Italy. Dubbed the Ghost Mansion, this decaying Italian villa, built in 1855, still contains the family's possessions. Paint peels in the bedroom where a child reputedly died. Passages lead to secret rooms hinting at past intrigues. Mansion 7, Halcyon Hall, New York. This enormous abandoned Georgian-style mansion took over a decade to construct before finally completed in 1917. Grand architecture like marble floors and soaring columns now suffers from vandalism and neglect after decades lying vacant. Mansion 8, Franklin Castle, Ohio. Over a century old, Franklin Castle harbors legends of murders and ghosts wandered its dark corridors. The Queen Anne-style mansion's crumbling walls whisper of its former Victorian-era grandeur, and grisly tales etched into its history. Mansion 9, Villard Houses, New York. Architecturally significant cast-iron French Renaissance mansions built in the 1800s, facing New York Central Park, now sit abandoned and sheeted in scaffolding. Water damage erodes their ornamental exteriors as time takes its toll. Mansion 10, Medieval Castle House, Florida. Surrounded by a moat, this unique home, modeled after a medieval stone fortress, lies abandoned and overtaken by Florida's elements. Mildew covers the cold stone walls that once hosted lavish parties for a wealthy family before changing hands. Mansion 11, Dundas Castle, New York. Nestled in the Hudson Valley lies this deteriorating Scottish baronial revival mansion. Completed in 1924, after 6 years of construction, its abandoned halls now host only ghosts of the past lingering through the decaying chambers. Mansion 12, Grossinger's Catskill Resort, New York. This massive former holiday resort for New York's elite has deteriorated since closing in 1986. Long empty guest rooms, now crumbling lobbies, and remnants of luxury like swimming pools blend with rubble in this abandoned vacation spot. Mansion 13, Owings Mills House, Maryland. Once a premier 18th century hotel visited by presidents, this now decaying Maryland estate transitioned to a mental institution before its ultimate abandonment. Ghostly shadows now stalk paint-chipped chambers. Mansion 14, Concordia, California. This abandoned 30-room French Renaissance mansion built by a mining tycoon is considered one of California's most haunted places. Legend says the ghost of a little girl wanders its deteriorating ballrooms and topiaries. Mansion 15, abandoned mansion of Sigmund Freud, London. The final home of famed psychologist Sigmund Freud now sits abandoned, its walls once echoing with intellectual discussions and treatment of patients. The eroding facade still exudes the aura of importance from its notable historical resident. Mansion 16, Heisen House, Illinois. Secrecy shrouds this ruined mansion, rumored to have belonged to illegal bootleggers and gamblers during the Prohibition era. Tunnels beneath hint at speakeasy connections before fire left its imposing walls blackened and crumbling. Mansion 17, Hopemont, West Virginia. This deteriorating mansion, built in 1891, displays extravagant handcrafted details now being lost to vandals and neglect. Towering stonework peeks through cascading vines, hinting at the grandeur beneath the decay. Mansion 18, Calvert Psychiatric Hospital, Maryland. Once housing psychiatric patients, this abandoned medical complex has been vacant for decades. Equipment and records litter collapsing interiors, with crumbling paint and rust stains hinting at questionable past practices. Mansion 19, Bannerman's Castle, New York. This castle-like fortress located on an island near New York City hosted military goods sales before a devastating explosion gutted most of the structure in 1920. Now a striking ruin, only hints at its former architectural majesty remain. Mansion 20, Ruggles House, Ohio. Secluded in Ohio's woods, the deteriorating Ruggles Mansion took over 60 years to build before its abandonment. Towering stone architecture now blends with nature as the home's original grandeur fades after decades of emptiness. Only echoes remain of its former inhabitants. These abandoned mansions across America invite us to imagine their past lives of extravagance, scandal, and tragedy. As nature reclaims the manors and families' legacies fade into myth, their empty halls seem to hold shadows of long ago. What stories would they tell if their walls could talk? The fleeting nature of human vanity comes into stark focus amidst peeling paint, overgrowth, and crumbling stone. Here time marches resolutely onward while relic grandeur slips into decay. But perhaps new life awaits within their classic bones. For now, we are left to wonder at the haunted heritage these ruins represent as we pass through in awe.